Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto, and today we're going to be breaking down my song "Modern Love" inside of Logic Pro. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of things going on. Let's go like this. Let me show you. I'll be the tiny little screen for this one. We're going to be going through. I want to make this like I don't want to go super in depth with it because I don't want it to be overwhelming. My goal is, let's see if I can actually fit my goal somewhere between 8 to 12 minute video of me walking you through the process of how I made this. It's a remix technically of the original song, so I don't remember if I made the original song, but there's an unbelievable amount of tracks in there, 103 tracks. It's so many vocals. Let's start with the vocal lines so you can see that these are all vocals right here. There's so much stuff going on. It's absurd. Let's zoom in a little bit. We're gonna go like this. Okay. This is recorded in Logic Pro X. I use it for everything. The reason I use this is because I learned on Logic Pro when I was in high school. There was like a music class that they offered that taught us. It was called electronic music, and I'm grateful for that. So these are the vocals. If we just listen to it, actually, I'm posting soon. I don't know if I'll post this first or after an acapella and an instrumental version, so you can hear both of those. It's gonna be one long version, so if you could just download the same thing if you wanna, make your own version or something like that. But here we go. This is the straight vocals.
Hey there, excuse me. Think I saw you on my Instagram. Oh,
you see a little cutout? That's actually because I re-recorded "Ma'am." That's
excuse me, ma'am. I think I saw.
Because it originally sounded like "man" actually, which is funny. So what we have going on the vocals is we have a little bit of pitch correction. I use flex pitch for a lot of things. I used to use Melodyne, but I didn't like that I had to transcribe the whole thing into the Melodyne, and then it was and then I had to balance it if I wanted to balance it, or I could just leave it. I usually leave it running. I just didn't like it. This is so much easier. Mainly, the main reason I like it is because it shows you where you are in the tempo, because that is the biggest thing. That to make things line up with the tempo is a big deal. So I use that. I use a little bit of pitch correction just for flavor. It's not really doing much. We got a little bit of a de-esser going on. We have a little bit of EQ, taking a lot of the low end out. Compression going on. Pretty decent compression.
Hey there, excuse
not too much.
me.
I always use this VCA one, this vintage VCA. I just prefer the way it sounds. We have a little bit of echo going on.
Hey there, excuse me, ma'am. I think.
And is there a little ducking going on? Let's see. Yep.
Hey there, excuse me.
A tiny bit of ducking. Okay, next we have some chroma reverb, a little decent amount of chroma reverb from Logic. Then we have another boosting the top again. And then this one right here is a little bit of which vocal is this?
Hey there.
Okay, yes, this is a little bit of bit crusher going on, giving just a little bit of grit to it. So if we turn this off,
hey there, excuse me, ma'am.
Just a little sizzle on top. So that's mainly the main vocals throughout the whole song. The verse vocals. Then we go into this section. This is the remix version. So we have where is it? Right here. We have some harmonies coming in. These harmonies over here. If we were to listen to these, it's like these layers running through an amplifier, actually. All different amplifiers. But then if you layer all these, there's actually an octave up vocal. Let me turn this on. You can hear this in here. It's singing an octave higher and then run this through an amp. Almost sounds like, if I pitch correct that hard, I bet that would sound like an actual guitar, which is wild. So all the vocals together would sound like this. All these layered harmonies would sound like this.
They say eyes never lie, so look deep inside of mine.
There you go. Now we go to this pre-chorus section, which is technically, I don't remember if I re-recorded it or if it's a sample or if it's both from my song I Would Quarantine Anytime.
'Cause I love the way you're looking.
There's the sample. Where is it? Somewhere. The look-in goes somewhere. Where is it?
'Cause I love the way you're looking.
There you go. You can kind of hear that reverb tail. There's a huge reverb tail on these guys. It's called, it's for inside of Logic. Inside of Replica XT, which I use for everything. This is the diffusion. I like it a lot. It's pretty cool. It's an echo. Now let's go to the chorus. We'll talk about these. I should have named everything. It's a nightmare. So these are the main chorus vocals.
I wrote this song to say everything words can't explain.
Let me tell you, that's a lot of vocals. So we have it's wild. It's like harmonies. Let's if we just listen to these. These are the originals.
I wrote this song to say everything words can't explain.
You can hear the layers coming in. Actually, let me mute this really quick. There we go.
I wrote this song to say everything words can't explain.
So actually, these are all the main vocals. That's what you would have heard in the original version. Slightly mixed differently. Like the lower vocals are raised a lot more than in the original.
I wrote this song to say.
Now what we did is I re-recorded 3 different takes of like a grittier version.
I wrote this song to say.
To get this whole thing.
Everything words can't explain. I love you every day, so let me give you my last name. I wrote this song to say.
There you go. That's the vocals for that. Okay. Next we are going... Let's talk about some of the guitars. So this guitar all the way at the bottom, this is probably the most interesting thing, is this this sample right here. If we were to listen to this. So it's a sample that I got. It's in a different key. This is the original key. Now move it up 3 steps. EQ it a little bit. Give it a little low end boost. And then I added a little bit of reverb and a decent amount of triple dotted eighth note delay. My favorite kind of delay. Big difference, right? I love that galloping sound, man. So good. Okay. So that's pretty much it. And then it goes into it's similar section, but it adds a bass to it. So if we were to listen to this, it's the same exact thing. Just adds a bass. That's also a sample coming from splice.com. Now we can talk about some guitars. Let's talk about let's continue to talk about guitars really quick. A lot of different layers of guitars. I record everything pretty much dry, and then use the amps inside Logic. It works. Let's see. Actually, let's see what's not muted. Okay, let's go like this. This is all we need right here. Believe it's done. I think we're missing anything else. Okay, good. Here's all the guitars. Here we go. Let's do this. Here we go. Okay. Here's a bunch of lovely guitars that we have. Right, where are these? Okay, here we go. I think it's something like this. So if we listen to these. 2 acoustics, layered acoustics. These come the second time. Those are the Logic amps and stuff. So for example, like this would be like one of the amps. They're all different amps inside of Logic. High grit, high grit. Taking a lot of low end out on some of them because I really wanted to push the forward through. The acoustics are pretty low end EQ too, like taking the low end out. What else do we have? We have this guy right here, which we hear later in the second verse. And this can be heard in the distance. It's actually kind of almost sounds like a synthesizer. My favorite chorus effect, this magic switch. Oh my gosh, listen to this. Hear the difference? There is Bullet saying what's up. So that sounds almost like a synthesizer going on in there. Let's see. Let's go a little farther. Let's talk. Let's talk these guitars really quick. This da 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 da. It's 2/5. It's 1-2-5. So it's like E F sharp B E F sharp B layers in here. Actually, one of these. Which one of these is not like the other? It's octave up and octave down with dotted eighth note delay. And then we have this like kind of grimy guitar going on here. So free to turn that off. See, we got 2 minutes. I said I was gonna do 8 to 12, and it's already 10 minutes in. Here we go. Which is what you hear in the second verse. Actually, if we go over here, you hear with a dotted eighth. Just the low pass filter. You can see the low pass filter going on. If I were to turn that off, and if I were to turn the echo off, echo adds a lot to that. Let's see. So if we were to hear the section, love the way the acoustics kind of. They don't sound as bright and tinny as I'd want. They sound a little bit more, still a little like more warm. But that's also a Martin too. Martins are really warm. Super dry, no reverb or anything like that. Let's talk drums really quick. We have a couple synths, random synths and stuff in here. Again with the magic switch. Love that magic switch, man. Let's see. We have some drums. Let's talk about the drums. What is this? Oh, this is me recording actual bass before we go into that. We have me actually recording. This is the original. Then I throw on these effects, which is bass amp, overdrive, and a little bit of EQ. This is the bass amp. I'm sorry, that's the overdrive. This is the bass amp. Right there. And it gets fat. So for example, there's that classic bass slide in there. My computer is being like, hey, what's going on? Okay, we have this classic bass drive. So without anything, it sounds like this. I love that slide, but I love how it sounds with all this stuff. Oh, it's like a smack in the face, man. It's so good. Okay, then we have a couple samples of drums. Let's talk about the samples and drums. We have, let's see, where was that? There's that kind of thing. I don't know where that guy is. Oh, maybe it's later. Okay, whatever. We have these drums that come in the first verse, which is what we hear. Actually, I'll do it over here because what we hear in the chorus, it's these guys that come in. No reverb or anything. It's not, and this is a bit of over compression. Actually, it's parallel compression, some heavy compression. Like, look how dirty the compression is. So if we would turn all this stuff, as this was a little bit of EQ, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of EQ, really pushing the low end. Then we have. This is what really gives it its grit, is this parallel compression. See, parallel compression, this is smack in the face. Then we have these Travis Barkers, which are very different, but they turn everything off. Chrome reverb, EQ, and parallel compression. Such a smack in the face. We have a couple string layers in there. Nothing too crazy. A female vocal chop, which is... We can hear that in a bunch of my songs. I use that all the time. Last thing we're going to talk about, because we're over time. Oh, Jake. We're over time, is the guitar solo at the end, which is all the way down here. So it's the similar guitars as before. We just layer them all up together. But we have this guy right here. This is the solo. So if I turn everything off, it sounds like this. Wild, right? Add a bit of compression, bit of EQ, add a bit of amp. And then classic dotted eighth note delay. You know your boy can't go without dotted eighth note delay. That's pretty much it, guys. And then I have this noise track, which I use in every single one of my tracks. What it technically is, I EQ it a little sometimes with a little bit of brightness. But what it technically is, to talk about let me pull up the EQ. Here we go. A little low end taken out, a little bit of high end added. Back when I used to live with my parents, actually, I had this actually the vocal booth we have here was almost fully enclosed. It was front and two sides. And I stuck my mic in there, and what I did is I guess I should make a separate video out of this. That'd be kind of cool. I stuck my mic in there, and I put a I recorded like 20 minutes straight of just noise, and then I chopped it into, I think, 5 layer. Yeah, I think I chopped it. Then it must have been like, it must have been more. It must have been, I think it was 25 minutes and chopped into 5 different minute segments or something like that. And what it is or it might have been more. It might have been 6 or 8 segments. Maybe I did 3-minute segments or something like that. But left, far right, medium left, medium right, and I think center. So I guess that's 5. And what that is I layered all those sections. Like I took all the sections and just chopped them to 5, and then layered them all. Maybe I have recorded even longer. I don't remember. I guess we could actually see because how long this thing goes. And it goes a long time. Yeah, I mean even there that's 4 minutes. I recorded a long, but what that does is I use a lot of MIDI notes. I use a lot of like synthesizers that don't necessarily have true instrument microphone recordings. So the benefit to doing that is you essentially, I think I saw Kygo or Deadmau5 do it or something like that, where you create this feeling like it's a real instrument. Because when you're recording a piano, you actually hear the ambient noise in the air. The microphone's picking up the air, whether it be a little bit of the AC in the background or just air, the movement of air. And that's what I'm faking in my videos. So hope you guys enjoyed that little background on how to make it. I hope that you enjoyed the little insight, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. God bless and peace out.